Hello. Hello, my jelly bays and wonderful beings. Oh my gosh. Every day you are living the best version of yourself. Every day. Every day. Every moment you are expanding and you are evolving into the best version, the truest version of yourself. Every day, every moment. I believe this is an amazing time to be alive. All right. It is an amazing time to be alive. Life, as we are experiencing it, is offering us a new dimension or offering us dimensions to experience life in. And while there is a surface level of the material things, the bar hopping, the partying, the barbecues, the success, chasing your goals, dreams, the hustle, the play in life. There's a new dimension, or there's been this dimension here, but it's being introduced to a lot of people. And it is a part of the awakening into a new space and way to experience and understand your life's purpose, or understand truly what life's all about. Y'all, so many people got lost in this COVID shit. All right. Whew. The crazy thing is, I know for a fact so many individuals were wishing, praying, hoping, wanting to be able to work from wherever. That's this whole thing. Work from wherever, work from home, work from wherever, this entrepreneurship kind of mindset. And not even necessarily entrepreneurship, but just be able to do whatever you're doing, make your money, and be in the comfort of wherever the hell you want to be. Right? But during this time, I feel that people are going backwards instead of actually forward. A lot of people are going back. And I'm not talking about you. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not. But a lot of people are going backwards from what I am seeing. And it's like trying to relive or revive what this world was all about prior to COVID versus embracing this straight up forced stillness in your space. The opportunity to not only just stop doing shit that you probably really didn't really like, or you probably had outgrown, or stop with the job that you probably would never leave, but you were sick and tired of, complained about, probably would have never left. But in this COVID phase, there's a lot of things that were taken. And then it's like, oh, I wish it was just like it used to be. Forgetting all the complaints about what you had, what was offered to you prior to March 2020. There is levels of waking up, levels of awakening, levels of upgrading yourself into a higher space, or technically in your truth. And right now is the time that is like bam in your face to step into a new reality, or actually step into reality, and not this mind trap, mind jungle, the concrete jungle, the matrix of what the world has been dancing around in front of you, and you've just been chasing around, and you're like the puppet in the puppet show. And now it's like, wake up. I'm not a part of that shit anymore. No one is going to control my joy, my inner peace, my happiness, my love, my truth. And if you're sucked into social media, if you're sucked into the media, if you're sucked into negative conversations, if you're sucked into this complaint realm where it's just woe is me victim mentality, you'll never see truly what this life is all about. Sucked into fear, right? Right now, I'm in limbo with sending my kids back to school. My kids are ready to go back, and I know this COVID shit, I feel like it's not going anywhere, and I'm not getting no damn vaccine. I'm not going to be the test dummy. What I'm going to do is know that there's a knowing within me. There's a knowing within my space. The universe, God, source of life has my back. And I'm rolling with it. Because whatever is meant to be is already written. You can't change that. But you can change the way you see things. You can change your perspective. You can change how you handle, react, respond. You can change your inner world to reflect a different outer world. So I believe I'm sending my kids back probably in the next week or so, unless something changes. And that's a hard decision to make, because in this time now, there's so much fear being thrown at us to fear every damn thing. In the previous video that I just did about fear, wearing the mask and feeling like you're losing yourself in this craziness, because none of us have ever experienced it. And so the thing is, we worry about things that may or may not happen, right? And in all of that worrying, when the time comes, you can only do what you can do in that present moment. So your worrying didn't do shit, didn't prepare you for anything. There's a present moment that happens that you will move from a space of. So I'm going to share with you 3 areas or levels of consciousness for you to become aware of. If you're on this video, you're already connecting here. All right? You're already connecting here. And so what is consciousness? It is awareness. To be conscious is to be aware. All right? Cut the bull. It's awareness. And the thing is that you are the awareness. We're so identified with the mind. And I talked about this in that last video about fear. Being identified with the mind, you end up believing that you are the mind, and you are not. You are the awareness of the mind. You see this activity, all right? And I talk more about this in Unlearn the BS, all right? And so the 3 levels or areas of consciousness that I want to share with you is, the first one is being identified with the mind. Being identified. This is a space where everything is flowing through your mind and you are attaching to it all. I don't want to wash the dishes. I didn't feel like mopping the floor. Oh, I don't feel like cooking today. I don't want to fold these clothes. I don't feel like looking for a job. I need some money and these bills keep piling up. You know, the mind that just keeps going on and on and on and on. And you feel this in your way of being. All right. Or I'm ready to start this new business, but I'm feeling like, who's going to listen to me? Who's going to trust me? So-and-so has already done this. They're already doing greater things. Look at all of the followings that they have. I don't have any followers. I don't have any email. I don't have whatever, right? Doubting yourself. Being identified with the mind. You paralyze yourself. All right. Or just going somewhere and freaking stuck in traffic. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm freaking late. Now I'm catching every light. You know that feeling? I'm catching every light, right? And now there's a lawman driving down the street and you got to go the speed limit, right? It's like everything is going against you and you're identified with what the mind is telling you. All these things that got you feeling some type of way, just right? When I look at it as things that slow me down or that makes me go another way or that makes me feel like, okay, this was not what I had planned, I slow down and realize, well, that wasn't meant. That was not for me. That's not the direction I was supposed to be going in. So your first is being identified and being lost in thought, completely lost. Right? You cannot be lost unless you attach yourself to this whole mind trap of distractions, trivial shit, suffering, replays of old memories, replays of old things, worry, fear, that lower self, that lower vibration, that shit that just keeps you stuck, right? In that best version of being stuck, right? Whew. I don't even like talking about the lower self, but it's important to be aware of this lower self. It is important to be aware of this identity. It is important to be aware of where you are consciously, being identified with the mind or moving into the next phase, becoming aware of your thoughts. Becoming aware of your thoughts. It doesn't mean that you are always on top of your thoughts, that you are always aware as far as choosing your thoughts wisely, but you are now, however, aware that there's some mind activity here and you're here. You realize, oh, gosh, I kind of blew up on that one, and you gut check yourself. Ooh, I said some wrong shit that time. I probably shouldn't have said that. Not to say that it was bad or good or a negative thing. It's just the fact that we're not judging your actions here. Being in this awareness of your mind is now where you're able to actually make a transformation. This is a good thing. You're able to see exactly what truth is. You're able to now learn to make choices as you become more aware and you practice that being aware of what you're telling yourself or what you're reacting and responding to and how it's making you feel. So in the beginning, you're completely identified. You're completely identified, lost. And as you become aware, you're able to start seeing what this mind activity is. You're able to start questioning it. You're able to start challenging it a bit, right? You might still feel this tension inside of you. You might still feel these emotions that come from what these thoughts are telling you. You might still feel like you're getting trapped or lost from time to time, but you're aware that your thoughts are putting a hold on you. And so I used to be lost in thought when I was telling myself, I don't know who I am after losing my sister. And then I went through a phase of becoming aware and being like, I don't like the way this feels. I don't want to feel like this, right? And I became aware of how every time I reacted, responded, or moved in a certain way, I began to become aware of how it was making me feel and what I was thinking that was causing me to react, respond, and feel some type of way. And that actually was a weird transition to be able to kind of, I mean, you probably are thinking, are you hearing voices or what? But we all have voices in our head. Come on now. We all have these voices in our head. We're talking about other people that are talking to themselves. The only difference in the people that we see on the street that are talking to themselves out loud is that they're talking out loud and you're actually able to see them in their conversation. But you and I have conversations in our head all the time. We are talking to ourselves. We are answering shit. We got all kind of stuff going on up here. Okay? Let's be real. Be truthful with yourself. All right? Own that. That is a part of becoming aware of what's happening here. Becoming aware of your mind activity. All right, as we move into the final, and there are many other, to expand this broader, to learn more about. I'm keeping this short, simple, as I don't like to just have so much shit thrown on you or on myself. I like to feel and experience. I like to take in things that actually are speaking to me in the moment, and that's what flows through. All right, so I really appreciate you here on the other side. If you're ready to move into what this next phase, transition, is, make sure that you hit that like button or that thumbs up button, thumbs up, subscribe. If you're ready to hear what this next phase, level, transition is. You ready for this? All right, so We're starting off as being identified. All right. You're on the other end of watching this. And if you're identified with the mind, you're probably like, what the hell is she talking about? Well, what the hell is she talking about? Right. But there's something speaking to you. All right. So even if you are identified with the mind and you have a lot of questions rambling up here, you're in the right place. Okay. You're in the right place because now this lost in thought, right? Identified with the mind. Your identity is your mind, right? You're not your truest self here in this mind game shit, right? And so then you become aware. You are able to see the mind activity. You're able to see what's happening over here. Like, oh, wait a minute. All right. That whole feeling of, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to go to sleep. And then you catch yourself telling yourself, I just want to go to sleep. And then you take in a deep breath and then you exhale. And then you're able to calm the mind for a second. And you start sinking into your bed. And then all of a sudden the mind goes again and it says, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you did it, I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep, I just want to go to sleep. And then you inhale and then you exhale. And you're becoming aware of what's happening in your mind activity. It's like it doesn't want to shut off, right? It's overthinking, but you're becoming aware of it. So you're understanding how to let it flow by, pass through you as you continue to get more relaxed in your space, right? Becoming aware. And then it's moving into your awakening state, your upgraded higher self. You're leveled up, your enlightenment phase. All right. In this third level, in this third area, in this space of enlightenment, there is shit that will still happen to you. All right. Life happens. But in this space, you're so aware that you do not allow it to bring you down. Things are so trivial that it's whatever, right? You missed your flight. You're like, I wasn't meant to get on that flight. It's fine. I'll just catch the next one. You know, you start thinking of, all right, life is taking care of me. I wasn't meant to be in that space. I'm good right here. Right? You start feeling like, life is taking care of me. I'm not meant to be in that space. And then you start knowing. There's a knowing. Your thinking goes out. Your feelings ain't shit. Life is simple. And there's a knowing within you that the universe has your back. That God is protecting you. That source and life is around you and taking care of you. There's a knowing that your every move, that whatever's happening, there's a knowing that this is all happening for me. And this is all meant to be. And it's not to say that things don't still hurt, but you're not suffering from it. It's not to say that things don't still come at you and you see this dancing activity of mind, troubles, pain, sorrow, grief. It's not to say that these things are not still happening to you. You just allow them to pass on by and you don't even realize it. It's just a natural state of being where things begin to just flow through you. And you're here. And life is simple. And you're free. And you're aware. And you observe life. And you just pour out this energy. You feel this lightness. You feel weightless. And this is not like imagination. There's an actual feeling that you feel within yourself that just feels like you're covered in this energy of love, this energy of peace, this energy of just some good ass vibes. Let me tell y'all something. Moving into this space of spirituality, right? There's a lot of people that have judgment so embedded in their heart. Judgment is a part of their every way of being, right? And so I haven't always been in this space. right? There's levels to this. And it's levels to what you choose to open up to in your life, right? So people are always going to judge you. People think, you say shit, Lora. Yeah, that's a spiritual practice, right? You got on short shorts. That's a spiritual practice, right? Your red lips is calling for attention. That's a spiritual practice. All of this judgment everywhere, right? Oh, you drinking wine. Oh, okay. I didn't know spiritual people drink wine or drink or party or dance or knows how to have a good time, right? All of those things may actually happen to you. All right. And all of those things may actually happen here. Am I really being this good person? Am I really stepping into my higher self? Am I really being this spiritual being? And this is the reason why I create these videos. This is the reason why I created Unlearn the BS, because there's so much more to life than the things we see, the things we complain about, the things we wish we had, the things we want, the things that we desire. Those things are fun. It is good to play around with it. That, I'm not saying let it go. I'm saying appreciate those things, but be aware of what's grabbing and pulling your energy and sucking you down. Understand where you are placing your identity. Is it in the hands of the world, or is it truly within your heart? So I want to share with you a spiritual practice. I don't know why I do this, but for some reason, I just feel like people think when you talk about spirituality and when you talk about your spiritual way of being and your spirit, it's woo-woo. And it's like, seriously? Come on. So much energy is vibrating in our universe. The trees are growing and they don't speak. They're alive. Did you realize that? If you've watched any of my videos and your mind automatically shuts them off, it's just because your mind doesn't understand how to, your mind can't understand half this shit. It's not anything to do with the mind. The mind doesn't want to hear about you connecting with your truth. The mind wants to control you and tell you what to do, how to feel, how to react, that you can change the situation by worrying about whatever. The mind will continue to make you believe these things. It's up to you, your truest self, right? Mind identity, your truest self, to break free. Every time your thoughts begin to flow, you work on or you practice becoming aware. You practice seeing the dance and the activity. You practice becoming aware of what's happening here. And you begin to realize, well, damn, there's a lot of stuff going on up there. Why am I thinking this? And you snap out of it, right? And so just becoming aware of your thoughts, right? Moving from the space of being identified by your mind, identified by your thoughts, moving from this space into the space of becoming aware is a major success. It's huge. So if you're in that space right now, right, continue catching yourself. Continue snapping out of these mind traps. Continue to become aware of what you're thinking. All right? The more that you begin to practice this, the more that you become aware, you eventually transition into a state of these mind attacks, these mind traps no longer control me. I am no longer controlled by what this mind is telling me. I hear you. Okay? I may feel a little bit of you sometime, but you're not controlling my every move. You're not controlling and boxing me in. You're not telling me how unworthy I am. You won't feel the pain, the suffering, the anxiety, the sadness, the sorrow. You won't be identified with that anymore. All of the lower self, you won't be identified with that anymore. This shit just passes on by. Okay? Things become way more simpler. You gain so much more clarity. There's a sense of peace in your way of being. All right? Catch it. Moving from being lost and identified by the mind to becoming aware and transitioning into your awakening, your waking up, your enlightenment phase. Hope this video finds you well. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up, and continue to go with the flow with me, stepping into the flow of life. Let's end this out with a good old inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Your presence is power. Inhale and exhale. Your presence is power. I love you. Until next time.